So in this next exercise, we're going to be looking at my ideas on fretboard visualization, a topic very popular and something that I've struggled with a lot, and I'll just show you my main tools to kind of approach this idea and organize the fretboard, which can be a very confusing thing as a guitarist, and especially when you're improvising and trying to shift keys or improvising over any song that starts to explore maybe some chord changes, basically getting out of the pentatonic boxes. But first, I think it's very, very valuable to explore the pentatonic boxes, and that'll be the first kind of exercise when it comes to fretboard visualization, is familiarize yourself with the 5 pentatonic shapes as much as possible. I think once they are strong, it provides such a good foundation for everything you want to do extra. So any other kind of jazz bass sounds you want to explore, whether it is modal notes, chromaticism, anything outside, I think it all can still stem from the pentatonic scales, and that's what I use to organize everything. Otherwise, everything becomes too confusing. So first of all, I guess we want to really know these shapes. Back to front. You can run them like this, just up and down across the neck. Another good exercise is to pick a string set, so maybe that's D and G, and just play the pentatonic shapes on those strings. So it means we get to see them in the middle of the neck, instead of always starting on the 6th string at either end, so the E string at either end. Then also, basically the next step, once you're familiar with shapes, I think it's really valuable to start knowing exactly what you're playing down to like an intervallic level. And the pentatonic boxes are great to start this process. You want to start with the ones first. So every note has a number. In the pentatonic scale, we have 1, a flat 3, a 4, 5, and a flat 7. And those notes just repeat. There's only 5, which is why the pentatonic scale is another great option to start with all this stuff, is because we don't have to deal with 7 notes, which would be a mode. All we have is 5. And they're some of the strongest notes. And if we want to do like minor chords, we basically have the 1, the flat 3, the 5, and the flat 7 already built into this shape, which are the most kind of important notes when you want to outline a minor chord. So first of all, we want to map out all our ones. So go through every pentatonic shape and just place the ones. So those would be the 3 ones for pentatonic position number 1, pentatonic position number 2. The first one isn't until the 4th string there, and there's the second one. Pentatonic position number 3. There's the first one. There's the octave number 4. There's the first one. There's the octave. Position number 5. There's the first one. Octave, octave. So let's add those all together. Position number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5. Sorry, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4. Next, we want to maybe limit yourself to one position at a time and try and say out loud what these other notes are. So we have a 1, the C's are flat 3s, D's are 4s, E's are 5s, G's are flat 7s. So go through the whole position and call out the numbers as you play each note. So 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3. That's the first step, and try and do that for as many shapes as possible. Then we also want to know what these notes actually sound like in relation to maybe a bass note. So a fun exercise you can do is just hold the open A, for example, and then explore how every note sounds in the pentatonic scale. So let's start with the 1s. Obviously that's very bland, it's just the 1, but it does sound the most stable. Then let's hear what the flat 3s sound like. We instantly get kind of a darker sound. It is the minor note. You explore what both the minor third and the 1 sound like together. Now try and hear the 4. Just is going to be the first kind of suspenseful note slash something that sounds a bit more ethereal. So we have the ethereal kind of bright sound, the dark sound of the minor third, the stable sound of the 1. Move up to the 5th, also sounds stable. And then we have the flat 7, which to me sounds similar to the 4, whether it's kind of ethereal, more bright in comparison to the minor third. So then next we want to improvise with those colors in mind. So try and link each emotional color to each interval. So minor third, remember we have dark, 4 we have bright, 5th we have stable, flat 7 we have bright again. And try and improvise around that, maybe even call out the numbers as you play. So 5, 4, flat 3, 4, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 5. Or call out the emotions in a way. So stable, stable, ethereal, bright, dark. Try here the combinations of notes too, for example flat 3 and flat 7, or 5 and flat 7. And that's just one position. Next we want to try and do that across the entire neck, map out every shape, knowing exactly where each of these colors are. And if it's too hard to keep that open A going, maybe even do a little backing track of just the minor chord so you can maybe hear the context a little bit clearer even. And then once that's kind of comfortable, try and link the entire neck while calling out the numbers as you go. So maybe even pick a random pace in the neck, 4, flat 3, 1, flat 7, flat 3, flat 7, 5, flat 3, 1, flat 7, 4, flat 3, 5, 4, flat 7, 1, 1, 4, flat 3, 5, flat 7, sorry, 1, flat 7, 5, 4, flat 3, 5, 1. When I play, I generally have the numbers going on in my head as I play each note, as kind of a subconscious thing. It provides the ability to kind of target specific notes if you want them over a particular chord, which makes it really valuable. And as soon as we start to move into more modal ideas, which we'll do for the next exercise, you'll see how valuable it kind of is to establish this really strong foundation with the intervals and the pentatonic scale. So that's the exercise number 1.